Okay, thank you guys all so much for hopping on this Zoom call. So I was introduced to Teamzy from Kirsten, and I know she'll be hopping on pretty soon. And she introduced it to my coach Joe, and all I can say is that Joe has got freedom back in his time. He's a newlywed, and he's rocking the business. And his wife said that the only time she would see him is he would step away for dinner to go eat, and then he would be right back on. And so it's not really a great newlywed story to have your husband always, buried in the computer. So he's brought on 5 new coaches this month, a ton of new clients. Kirsten has brought, she was gone integrated national. Since she's been doing this, and she's the reason that we're on here. And so I decided to do this also. And I told my mentors, because they don't know anything that's going on, I said, you get 30 days for free. You don't have to give a credit card. So if it was the honeymoon phase, then you don't even have to sign up. So that's a great gift that they give you. And so I want to know everything that's available to us through Teamzy, so that's why we are all hopping on here. So I'm going to introduce Eric Johnson. He is the creator of Teamzy, and take it away, Eric.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. My name is Eric Johnson, creator and CEO of Teamzy. Pretty cool, Joe. 5 coaches this month. That's during your free 30 days. Good. That's why we give you that, because we want it to be so clearly obvious that you don't need to worry about investing in Teamzy ongoing. So here's what we're going to do. I'm excited to be with you guys. I'm going to actually, I will show you Teamzy. I'm going to show you how to set it up. Teamzy is, it's a CRM. For those of you who don't know what that means, it helps you manage your relationships, but it's designed specifically for OptaVia. It's designed to help you get all your income producing activities done in less than 1 hour a day. How many people would like that? And it's based on the philosophy of relationships, building relationships. But so in order to really show you this, first I need to give you some background training on relationship marketing. So I'm going to take you through a little bit about the principles that Teamzy is built on, because besides being a software system that will get you incredibly organized and efficient with your time, it's a system. It's built on an approach to the business, which is kind of countercultural or counterintuitive to the way probably most trainers in our industry teach. Okay, but network marketing training is stuck around 1978. And that's why so many times when you're hearing things, you're going, I don't want to do it that way. So I'm going to kind of bring it, I'm going to say bring it to the modern time, but really I'm going to bring it back even farther to the way people just naturally connect with one another. And that's what makes this business amazing. So let's just jump in there really quick. I've got a little keynote presentation keyed up here. Oh wait, hold on a second. I'm on the last slide. Can't give you that one first. Here we go. All right, so this is what we want to talk about first, how to leverage relationship marketing to become a power hour boss. So a little bit about my background. I actually come from the coaching and training industry. That's been my whole grown-up life. I've been helping people build their business by relationship. I stumbled into network marketing by accident. Several years ago, I lost a bunch of weight using, I was actually with Beachbody for a while, lost a bunch of weight and just really improved my life. And I know you guys can relate directly to that. And I started sharing the products because I loved them. And people were asking me, what are you doing? You look great. What are you doing? And I just started sharing the products. Once I realized the incredible opportunity as far as a business, I knew as a professional consultant myself that if I was going to be successful, I had to find a way to leverage my time. I needed a tool that would let me in less than an hour a day do what I needed to do, because I had a full-time job and a family, and that's all I really had left. And you guys relate to that? So I went looking for some sort of professional tool for our industry that would help me do that. And guess what I found? Well, you know, because you're here listening to me, there was nothing out there. There was a few tools that I found really complicated and difficult to use. They weren't customized to what I was doing in my business. And they were based on the kind of like the go for no cold invite, blast email marketing, like all the stuff I would never do. Nothing was out there based on how to build relationships systematically. So that's why Teamzy's here, guys. It didn't exist for me, so we built it. Okay, so let's just go jump into into relationship marketing. What is relationship marketing? Relationship marketing is a lead generation system. It's a lead generation system. That's a system that initiates consumer interest or inquiry into the products or services of the business. Why am I telling you this? Because I want you guys to know that when you hear the term relationship marketing, it's not sitting around in a circle singing Kumbaya with your customers. It's not just selling a bunch of junk to people you know. That's not what relationship marketing is. It's actually a system that will generate a predictable business for you, but it's based on building relationships, okay? So I want you guys to understand that. But not only is it about building relationships, it's a bona fide lead generation system. And why is this important? Because I want you to have a mindset shift right here at the very beginning of our talk tonight. And that is that your business is lead generation. You're in the lead generation business. It doesn't matter how many coaches you signed up today or how many sales you made today. I mean, that matters. Don't get me wrong. I don't mean it doesn't matter. But if you didn't do work that will generate new leads for your business, then you didn't work on the business today. And it's just a mindset that I want you to have at the beginning. But I also want to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. And you need to understand this principle that as a business owner, developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty. Developing and deepening relationships is your paramount duty. Now, if you go get an MBA, they'll tell you the duty of a business is to earn profit. I'm here to tell you as a business owner, your duty is to develop and deepen relationships. That's why we do lead generation, so we can meet people to do what? To develop and deepen relationships with them. And then what we do with relationship marketing is we turn relationships into advocates by investing time and providing outstanding service. Okay, so we turn our relationships into advocates. Now, what traditionally is taught in this industry is churn through the numbers to find the interested people and throw the rest away. You just throw them over your shoulder and keep going. Have you guys ever heard like the go for no philosophy? So the idea is it's all about numbers. You're just going to crank through and you're going to find the interested people. With relationship marketing, that's still true. You're going to connect with a lot of people and you're going to find interested people right away. But at the same time, all those people who aren't interested, you're investing in and you're building relationships and they're going to become advocates. So nobody gets tossed. Everybody gets invested in. Okay, next principle. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Hold on one second here, guys. I gotta have this little view thing. There it is. I couldn't see anybody's faces. And it was bothering me. Oh, I still can't. Oh well. So don't snooze while I'm doing this presentation because I won't know. Relationship marketing depends on trust. Okay, another way to say this is this. If you are a jerk, this ain't gonna work. Okay, if you're a jerk, this ain't gonna work. How many of you guys have ever come across somebody in this business who's less than honest or ethical? Unfortunately, it's a big deal. And that's why when you approach people and they find out you're doing network marketing, sometimes they're guarded and skeptical. Anybody come across that? Yeah. And unfortunately, even people who are ethical are often taught to do things that are unethical, in my opinion, in this business. They're taught to, the way we're taught to communicate or to message people, it's like to trick them into being interested instead of being open and upfront. I want you guys to know relationship marketing actually works better than all those tactics, but it depends on trust, which means that you can't do anything that violates the trust relationship with people. It takes forever to rebuild that. True? Now, here's the cool thing though. Trust makes the work fun. Trust makes it fun. If somebody trusts you even just a little bit, you don't have to convince them. You can get right to helping them. Also, trust takes away the icky feeling, the icky salesperson feeling. And if you're anything like me, I think you guys are, that's the last thing I ever want to be considered is the icky salesperson, right? But when you build a little bit of trust, that's not an issue. Also, you get to go for yes. Instead of going for no, you're going for yes. Some people are yes right now. Some people are yes a little longer down the road. But everybody is on the process of becoming yes. So how do you build trust? Now, the good news is I'm going to share with you guys the 4 essential ingredients to building trust. Okay, we'll go through them really quickly and then I'll break them out for you. The first one is chemistry. Chemistry. Okay, the second one is character. Character. Number 3 is competence. Competence. And number 4 is consistency. Okay, consistency. Chemistry, character, competence, consistency. All right, let's go through these really quickly. Chemistry. Come on, here we go. Sometimes I want my slides to move much faster. How many of you guys are always in a rush like me? I'm always in a rush. My wife calls me rapid instead of my name. She says, come on, rapid. Number one is chemistry. Chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? Okay, chemistry is where you have common ground with someone. What is it about you they can relate to? The easiest way I sum this up for you guys is this. It's much easier to do business with someone you like. And it's very hard to do business with someone you don't like. True? Yeah. There's a statistic that 88% of Americans prefer to do business with a friend. Now, well, we'll just leave that. So chemistry, figure out what you have in common with people. We have something in common with everybody, right? Absolutely. And it feels like everybody spends so much time trying to figure out how different they are than others, right? My opinion's different than yours. My whatever's different than yours. As business owners, you don't have that luxury to be different. You need to figure out what you have in common with people. Find the common ground, okay? And the easiest way to do it is to ask questions and then listen. Number two is character. Character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you are relatable. Okay, character is when you demonstrate how much you care and that you are relatable. Please notice the definition of character is not something you have, it's something you do. Character is not something you have, it's something you do. There's so many things that are so fundamental to relationships and being a good person that we think are something we own when they're actually things that we do. Character is one of them. Another one is love. Love is not something that we have, it's something we do. Right? Like this is a little side note, but you can't actually be in love with somebody, but you can love somebody. Make sense? Okay, character is when you demonstrate your care for people and that you're relatable. So if you feel like someone's questioning your character, your integrity, don't get twisted about that. Say, oh my gosh, I must not be demonstrating my care for this person. This person has no idea of my character because I've never done anything to demonstrate that to them. Make sense? Character. This is huge. And everything that you do as a business owner, as a person, on social media, text messages, Facebook messages, phone calls, everything you do has to be about how you are caring for others. And then they'll know your character, okay? Also, competence. Number three, competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. Okay, competence is when you demonstrate you're good at what you do and you're a business person. There's two pieces to this. One is, I need you to be my coach. Can you help me? Are you competent enough to help me get to my goals? That's step one. Are you good at what you do? Step two is, wow, I'm in love with this program. I want to join the business. Do I believe you are competent to mentor me in this business? Okay. Competence has two pieces. How many, I just need to look at your faces for this real quick. How many of you guys have ever been told, anybody kind of new, sort of new, new-ish? I guess everybody's kind of new because OptaVia is not that old, right? Have you guys ever heard the term, just fake it till you make it? You guys ever heard that? Yeah, just fake it. Don't worry if you're new, just fake it till you make it. Now, here's the thing I just want to say is don't do that. Don't fake anything. First of all, when you're talking to people who already know you, they don't believe you anyways when you fake it, right? So you've now violated that trust you're trying to build, but you don't need to fake it. Do you have people on your team that are unbelievably competent at this? Do you have uplines who know the business and can help? Yeah, so you don't need to fake it. Lean into your team. Let people know, hey, I'm new too. We're going to do this together, but my team has the most unbelievable professionals, and together we're going to get the training. We're going to get the support. Everything that we need, we're in the right place. Lean into your team. Teach your new people to lean into you until they have developed their own competence. Don't teach them to fake it, because as soon as things start to ring untrue, it's over. Does that make sense? And so I want you guys, I'm going to challenge you guys in trainings and things that you hear from trainers is think to yourself, if somebody did this to me, would it ring true? And if you don't believe that it would, don't do it. Make sense? Because those tactics do work on some people. And people have built businesses that way. But I'm here to tell you relationships will be more effective, more consistent. And if you guys are like I think you are, it will feel a lot better building your business this way, right? Okay, let me jump back in there. Sorry. I'll try not to do too many tangents. I can't help it. Here's a principle I want to share with you guys. See if I can get this going again. Let me jam through these points. The principle I want to share with you is that when someone's going to do business with you, they only care about three things. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Are you good at what you do? Okay. These are unspoken questions. They're heartfelt. Science people might call it a subconscious thought. The point is they may not articulate these, but these are the questions that are happening. And when you come up against any sort of objection in your business, just know all objections in business or products come from these three questions. So yes, overcome the objection professionally, learn how to do that. But at the same time, think to yourself, wow, I need to invest in this relationship. We have to continue building trust with this person. Number 4, consistency. Okay, if you guys are like me, just hearing the word consistency makes you kind of cringe a little bit, right? Because it sounds a lot like work. Here's the good news. Every one of you are already incredibly consistent at so many things. Now, unfortunately, we think about the 1 or 2 habits we'd like to be more consistent at that we're not. But the truth is we do a lot of things consistently. Some of them are bad habits, right? But consistency is key. Anybody parents? How consistent or how important is being consistent with developing trust with your kids? It's the same with anybody. Consistency is the most important thing. Being consistent builds trust, right? So my wife always says, don't tell me, show me, right? Consistency. Here's the principle that I love. I love this too, by the way it's worded. People respect consistency and desire it for themselves. People respect consistency and they desire it for themselves. This principle is actually paraphrased from one of the most incredible books on how human beings are motivated. It's called Persuasion. I'm sorry, it's called Influence. I don't know if you guys can see it right now because I can't see the screen. But this is the book. Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. Unbelievable if you haven't read it. It's a little dry, but the meat is incredible. He talks about how people respect consistency and desire it for themselves. What's amazing about this is, if you guys ever been told that you're inspiring, has anyone ever said, oh my gosh, you're inspirational? Or maybe someone who follows you on social media says your posts are so inspiring. And you kind of think, I'm glad that you were inspired, but really I'm inspiring. But you know what it is that inspires people is when they see you being consistent. It is so refreshing. People want to be near it. It's like they're like moths to a flame. They want to be near people who are consistent. Being consistent, doing things like, in your nutrition, your exercise, and taking care of yourself, in helping others. Those consistencies are seen and noted, right? And they build trust. They also attract people to you. So it kind of is a double help to your business, being consistent. And this is why being coaches with OptaVia is so great for you guys personally, because you're going to be more motivated to be consistent because people are watching you, which is going to actually help you personally as well as in your business, right? Pretty cool. So let me just give you guys a little checkup from the neck up here, as Zig Ziglar would say, a little checkup from the neck up. Are you consistent with, your nutrition? Are you consistent with your healthy habits? Are you guys consistent about posting on social media? Hopefully, right? You're consistent with all those things. Now, but are you as consistent with your relationships? This is the big question. Are you as consistent with your relationships? Okay, in other words, are you as consistent about staying in touch with people as you are, say, about posting on social? And the truth is, you're here listening to me train tonight, so probably, like all of us, you need a little help in this area. But don't worry, the help is on the way, okay? I want to give you a principle, and that's this. People won't believe you till they see you. People won't believe you till they see you. What do I mean by this? Look, when you come on into a program like OptaVia, and how many of you guys have a personal testimony, like these products have really helped you? Yeah, so you have a personal testimony, you come in and you start sharing your story, you start sharing what's happening, you start sharing the journey you're on, And people opt in, right? Some people are like, that's interesting. I want to learn more. But how many people are you connected to that never comment, never like, never respond to, and they just, you never hear from them, right? They're not, this is a small percentage that's engaging. I'm here to tell you that most of those people, at least if you're sharing consistently, are watching, but you're like a TV show. They're watching you like something that's happening on TV. They don't actually believe you're inviting them to your life. Why? Because they haven't heard from you since high school. Why would they believe it? People won't believe you till they see you. In other words, if you really want to invite people into what you're doing, they need a personal invitation. Okay. And you just need to remember that relationship building is a contact sport, which means that you have to be in regular contact with people. If you want a relationship of any kind, you have to be in regular contact with people. In fact, I will go as far as saying you should be in regular contact with every human being you know. And don't be overwhelmed. I know time is scarce. I'm going to literally show you the system in a minute that will let you do that easily. Okay. Here's one more principle, and then I'm going to share just an example with you, and we'll jump into Teamzy. But this is kind of the hallmark principle for tonight. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Investing time and connecting with people is the only way to deepen relationships. Okay, just really quick. How many of you guys have ever received like a really great card from somebody that you care about, right? Spouse or family member, one of your children? Well, those are the good ones, right? When they finally do that. I mean a child that's past the age of 14 that gives you a card. When you get one of those cards, and now picture in the card, the handwritten message, the beautiful, heartfelt handwritten message, the kind of message that evokes an emotional response. How many of you guys, like the waterworks come on when you get a good card like that? That's me. My wife calls me the big baby. I love getting those cards. Now, quick question. When you got a card like that, you guys have all received one of those, right? Good. How many of you are married? You better be the same hands or someone's in trouble. When you get a card like that and you read it and you have that emotional response, what do you do then? Do you just crumble it up and throw it and toss it in the trash? Like, that was nice, babe. Thanks. How many of you guys keep those cards forever? You have we even get to the point where we have a special place where those special cards go, right? Did you realize that not only you're not alone, most people don't throw away cards. In fact, when somebody passes away, often what's treasured most by their family are the cards and letters that are left behind. Isn't that true? I know, I've got a couple that are so special, they're in my Bible. They're just in my Bible all the time because I'm like, I want someday somebody's going to get my Bible and they're also going to get these cards from my wife. Now, let me ask you another question. I've got an example here. Have you guys ever received one of these? This is a happy birthday postcard from my insurance salesman. You ever get one of these? Maybe the dentist. Are any of you dentists or insurance salesmen? Before I make fun of these guys, no, I'm just kidding. I have a lot of dentists in Teamzy actually, because dentists often do network marketing also. So this is a postcard from my insurance guy. It looks like it's handwritten, but it's not actually handwritten. It's that fake handwriting that they print. Now, you guys ever get one of these? Does this go in the special place? This goes right in the trash, right? I mean, you might go, that's nice. Gone. That's a pretty good throw. I only kept it so I can make fun of it every time I do one of these presentations. That has no value. What's the difference? That has no value because there was zero time invested in it. The one thing that we have that makes something valuable is when we invest time into it. Right? And when you hand wrote a card for somebody, you invested time, personal, undivided attention. Can you play with Facebook while doing that? No way. It means so much because it's so rare. And I'm here to tell you guys that you can send a message on Facebook, 2 sentences long. It won't have as much impact as a handwritten card, of course, but it will have a lot more impact than doing a random post on your feed and hoping people see it. People need to be connected with personally, and we're yearning for it. Why do you think people spend so much time on social media? We're more disconnected as a society than we've ever been. And when you reach out personally and connect with people, I call it the make someone's day mindset. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as we go through. To make somebody's day, You do that and then some. And when you compound those day after day in your business, you create a momentum. It's like a feel-good momentum in your business that is kind of hard to articulate. Those of you guys who've been doing it for a few weeks have probably already experienced this. I get messages every day from people that I've never met telling me these incredible stories about how they've made a deep connection with somebody by sending them a 2-sentence message on Facebook. But it's like the timing was right, and it's just kind of hard to describe. I'm going to show that to you guys in a minute, but I want you guys to know it's about connecting with people one-on-one and taking a little bit of time to do that and doing it consistently. That's how a relationship deepens, and that's how trust is built. Does that make sense? So if there's going to be one thing that you're consistent with in your business, it's going to be connecting with people. All right, now don't worry. Teamzy is the system that will let you do it in less than an hour a day, and people are going to be like, oh my gosh, you're so organized and amazing and awesome. And you're like, thanks. The system just helps you do it. All right, so let's jump in here. I'm ready to show you this in a second. I think I've got one more slide. Yep, here you go. So this is what you need. You just got to have a system to do this. You can't do it willy-nilly. I've given you the principles, but you need a system, a way to stay in contact with all your relationships so you can manage it and not be overwhelmed by it. Also, you need to know when to contact them. In other words, take the thinking out, take the planning out. Before Teamzy, I would spend a full hour planning my power hour. With Teamzy, you're just going to know. Turn it on. Here's who's up next. Here's who you should contact today. Know what to say. What do I mean by this? I don't mean scripting your whole conversation in advance, but just know how to start a conversation. What is an easy way to get started? Because otherwise we get stuck on, what do I say? How do I start this? What's the perfect message? And then you get stuck in analysis process. So just a system. Here's how I start a conversation. Let's go. Also, make sure that nobody ever falls through the cracks. You need a system so nobody ever falls through the cracks. Now, in today's call, in a few minutes, I'm going to teach you how to follow up like a pro. Like follow up so that you're going to convert 80% more people on the back end. But you need a system like that. You need a system that's watertight so those people don't fall out. Because how many of you guys have done this where you've talked about the business with somebody, they're interested, they're excited, and you're excited, right? And you're telling your team, I got a new person, they're going to be a great coach. And then what happens? They're like, you know what? I'm not ready right now. Okay, great. I'll connect with you a little bit down the road. And then what happens? You forget. Then you see their post. I'm so excited. I just started this new business. And you're like, you did? With who? Not with me. Who'd you start the business with? Has that happened to anybody? Yeah, because you planted the seed. You got them thinking about it. You watered the seed. You provided the sunshine. But guess what? Who was not there when they were ready for harvest? That's why you got to have a system. Because it's heartbreaking when that happens. And then all you can do, and a lot of times they'll message you, guess what I just did? Aren't you happy for me? Yes, I'm happy for you. You made the right choice. Kinda. All right, let's jump into Teamzy. I know you guys feel that one. If you've been doing this more than 2 weeks, you feel that one. All right, here we go. Here's Teamzy. All right, so I've got my OptaVia version of Teamzy right here. Couple things I want to talk to you about right off the bat before we jump into this. We mentioned this at the beginning of the call, but I'll mention it again. If you go to teamzy.com, you can get a free trial for 30 days. Free. No credit card required, nothing. We give you full access for 30 days so that even if you're brand new and you don't have, as my dad would say, 2 shekels to rub together, you can create some momentum in 30 days that will take care of your tuition, your investment for Teamzy forever. Okay? Teamzy is really inexpensive. I'll show you at the end, but it's less than $1 a day to use Teamzy. Super inexpensive. But at the same time, you got 30 days free just so that you can generate that. So if you haven't done it, go to teamzy.com and get your free trial started. Okay. Now, once you log in for the very first time on your free trial, and you'll see all the different networks we have versions for, make sure you grab the OptaVia version so you get the right version. When you first log in, well, it will take you automatically into a setup wizard to help you set up Teamzy, okay? And I'm going to show that to you now. It's been dismissed in my account here, but you can always get to your setup wizard by going to this little settings wheel and launching it there. Okay. So I'll walk you through this real quick. In the setup wizard, we'll do 3 things. We're going to set your income goal. Okay, now once we know your income goal, Teamzy will tell you what to do every day to hit it. We'll backward engineer that goal and give you your daily activities. That way you can keep your focus small so you can grow your business big. Make sense? And then number 2, we're going to help you create a powerful why. so that you know why you're in this business. Now, most of you guys have probably heard about creating your why, and what I find is that most people haven't done it because they don't really know what to do. I'll show you how to do it today. And then we're going to get all your contacts into Teamzy in one place, organized, so that you're not looking for notepads, a shoebox full of sticky notes, or some spreadsheet you started 3 years ago and never updated. It will all be in one place, organized. You can get it from your phone, wherever you are. It's just there. It's in the cloud. So cool. All right, so let's get started. So the first step here is to set your income goal. That goal's a little high for me. I'm going to set my goal for $150,000. Okay, this is the income level I'd like to be at 12 months from now. All right, so put your number in there, whatever it is. I highly recommend, even if you're brand new, that your number be at least 6 figures. Okay, and I'll show you why. Because with Teamzy, you're going to be able to leverage your time, and you'll actually be able to do pretty high numbers worth of activities with this system. Okay, continue to the next page. Okay, so Teamzy's telling me I need to connect with 4,348 people this year to get to that number. That's a lot of people, right? How many of you guys have ever connected with 4,348 people a year? It's a lot. But here's the cool thing. When you need to eat an elephant, how do you do it? One bite at a time, right? One bite at a time. Next page breaks it down for us. Check this out. So it breaks it into pre-clients, clients, and coaches, right? Our 3 groups. Sometimes I call these prospects. So if I say prospects, this is what I mean, okay? Just so you know, I'm kind of trained to call them prospects. Then it breaks them down monthly, weekly, and daily. So that huge number, which was 4,348, now breaks down to a daily target of connecting with 9 pre-clients, 6 clients, and 4 coaches, okay? That's 19 people. That's 15 minutes work in Teamzy. I'm going to show you guys in a second. Seriously, 15 minutes work. Pretty cool, right? Now you can change these numbers to whatever you want. You can just type over them, right? If you wanted that to be an even number, like I would do that to make it 20 because 19 would bother me, right? I just like to round it up. I'm kind of OCD like that. Let's say you're brand new and you've got no coaches yet. You can make this a 0 and then take that 4 and put it on your prospects list or on your pre-clients list, okay? So if you're brand new and you've got no customers, I would just focus everything on your prospecting with pre-clients. With me? And then if you've got a team, then you keep these numbers the way they were recommended. All right, so good. So you can change these whatever you want. Also, you've got another goal here, which is invites. Now, I just want to draw the distinction between connects and invites. A connect is just that. It's just connecting to make someone's day, just to start a conversation. We're not talking about the business. We're not cold inviting them to an event or anything. It's just, hey, how you doing? How have you been? Let's start with a conversation. An invite is where we're going to invite them to learn about our business. We're going to invite them to whatever you've got going on, a 3-way call, a special event, an opportunity meeting, right? That's an invite. So you'll notice that in this daily goal setup, I'm going to be talking to 20 people. And out of those 20 conversations, I'm hoping to get 3 to the point where I've uncovered some interest and I invite. See, with relationship marketing, we invite when we've uncovered interest. That way, we don't alienate or push any relationships away before they're ready. Does that make sense? It also means that our follow-ups list, which I'll show you guys in a little bit, are highly qualified people who are interested. So our conversion rate gets really great. And we're spending time working on people who are truly interested. And the rest of the time, we're having fun connecting with people. Make sense? All right. And then ads. These are new people that you add to your list. You need to be in the discipline of always meeting new people, putting them on your list. So you can we default that to 3. You can set that to what you want, but just get in the habit of constantly adding to your list. Okay. Once these numbers are where you want them, click continue. Now the dashboard will be set up to your specific goals. Each one of you will have a customized dashboard to your goals based on your income goal. Make sense? Okay. The next step is finding your why. Finding your why. And I just want you guys to know, have you guys talked about this as a team, how important it is to know your why, know why you're doing this? How many of you would say you have a written why statement that you refer to regularly? Couple people? Awesome. Good job, you guys. And did you guys have those before or after you started using Teamzy? I got a before and a couple of these. Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad we had some impact. Here's the thing. Hopefully I will inspire all of you guys right now to do your why. Now, this is why it's so important. And not just for you, but for each person you bring onto your team. 1 out of 2 people in this business quit their first year. 1 out of 2. That's a lot of people. You guys experience this? You're working hard to bring coaches on and they just quit. Do you think the opportunity was any better for the people who quit or the people who don't? No, it's the same opportunity, right? Here's the thing I want you guys to understand is that all of us are quitters. True? We don't like to think of ourselves that way, but the truth is we're like water. We take the path of least resistance. And the only exceptions to this, and by the way, this is very natural. We were designed to protect ourselves and keep ourselves safe. And so when we hit resistance, we just go the other way. But there are times we stand our ground. There are times when we persist and we are successful. And every one of you guys has success muscle memory from something. The difference was you had a reason. You got to have a reason. I love the example that Darren Hardy gave in his book, Compound Effect. Who's read Compound Effect? Anyone? Anyone read Compound Effect? Oh my gosh. Got to get that book. Compound Effect, Darren Hardy worked with Jim Rohn and Zig Ziglar and all those guys in Success Magazine. And he basically wrote a book that summarizes all the great teaching on personal growth in one book. So you can give this to people on your team and it's like they've read 20 books. Compound Effect. I must have 10 copies on my desk. I'll show you what it looks like. I'm getting distracted by that, but anyways, Compound Effect's a great one. One of the examples he gives is, look, when he talks about the why, how many of you guys, if I put a balance beam across the ground, how many of you guys would walk across the balance beam for 20 bucks? Right? Okay, I would too, for sure. I just did it for free with my daughter the other day, gymnastics. Now, if I put the balance beam across the radio spires of 2 80-story skyscrapers, would you now walk across it for 20 bucks? No way. Okay. Would you do it? Yep. I like instant gratification. God bless America. There you go. It's actually really good on audio too. It's a good audio one. So would you guys now walk across that balance beam 80 stories up if the skyscraper on the other side was on fire? Of course not, because you wouldn't do it without it being on fire. But now I'm going to add one more thing. On the roof of the building on fire are your children. And the only way to get to them is across that balance beam. How many of you guys would shimmy your booties right across there and grab your kids and figure it out? The difference is the why. Now, your business, I hope, will never be like running across an 80-story building to a fiery inferno to save your kids. Luckily, our business is not that hard, but you get the point. You need a reason why, because stuff's going to happen to you that's going to set you sideways. In fact, statistically, every person has a crisis of some sort every 4 months of their life. And it doesn't have to be a huge crisis to get you to stop doing your activities in your business, true? And besides things like divorce, economic issues, sickness, illness, tragedy, actually had somebody who the tornado destroyed their home. Like things like that happen. Fires, we have a lot of fires here in Southern California. Besides that kind of stuff, what I see dismantle network marketing businesses all the time are what I call them the 3 biggest threats to your business. This is a whole other training, but I'm still going to give them to you. They are procrastination, boredom, and a lack of visible results. How many of you guys ever just feel bored? I don't know if I want to do it. I just don't feel like doing it today. Anybody ever feel like that? Like, I just don't feel like doing this today. Like, I love it. It's great. I'm passionate about it, but I don't feel like doing it today. I just kind of wish I could just binge on Netflix today and not do it. That emotion, you guys, how do you say your name? Lavali? You guys are my favorites right now. I love you guys. Okay, so, you all have them. Well, he showed them to me first, so he gets the points. All right, so yeah, you got to do it anyway. But here's the thing. You got to have that reason why. Now, let me just stop talking about it and take you through the process. You don't need to go get in a sweat lodge in Sedona to find your why. You don't need to read the 18 books on the shelf behind me and finding your why. It's a really simple process. Why? Because you already know it. It's right here in your heart. It's just pulling it out. Because a lot of times what we do is we protect ourselves from the deep emotions. We just kind of bury them down, right? So I'm going to take you through the process really quick. You guys are like, when is he going to show me how to do my power hour on Teamzy? It's coming, but this stuff's important. Without your why, the power hour is not going to help you. Well, I'll help you for a little bit, then you'll quit. So let's go through this. There's 5 questions. They're just to get you thinking, okay, so that you can get your why out. The first question is, and I'll take you through my story as an example. Why'd you become a coach? Honestly, you guys, I signed up to be a coach because I had great results. I lost a bunch of weight. How many of you guys have lost weight? And people said, wow, you've lost weight. What'd you do? And I told them. My wife finally smacked me in the head and said, can you just go get paid for doing that? You do it all day long. Why don't you just get paid for it? So I signed up. And what did you hope to accomplish? Next question. I wanted to make $500 a month extra money. That was it. Just $500 a month. Anyone start with a goal like that? And I asked my sponsor, do you think I can make $500 a month doing this? An hour a day? He goes, yeah, totally. I said, perfect. Sign me up. I didn't think, wow, I'm gonna build a company that will change the way network marketing is done. I'm gonna bring heart back to this business. I'm gonna bring a love-centered approach to this business, to this industry. I didn't have any of those goals. I wanted $500. That was it. Very shallow. Next question. Why is that important to you? There's 3s in here because one of my engineers used this account to test to make sure everything was working for you guys. He's just testing the text boxes. Why is that important to you? I wanted to make $500 a month because I wanted to save it. Anybody go through a period in their life where they're not able to save money, no matter what? Yeah, so what happened to me was, I was in the business of coaching people in their business. Specifically, our company focused on real estate people and mortgage people. That was our bread and butter, which was smart because that industry got bigger and bigger and bigger every year. It was like unbelievable. Especially, well, we were all over the place, but places like Southern California got crazy. By the way, it's crazy again. But what happened at the end of 2008? The recession hit, and that industry was obliterated overnight. And it was a really scary time for us. We laid off more than half the company, including me. I was laid off. And after 10 years of doing that, I had to go start looking for something else, figuring out how to remarket myself. Anybody go through that during the recession? It was scary. And in my family, we've got 4 kids. I was the main breadwinner, and it was really scary. And here's what I'm going to tell you. We were very blessed. I did find other work, and we made it through the recession. But it cost us all of our savings, and we no longer saved. We just got by. We just barely got by. In fact, we did less than getting by, but luckily I got a little bit of a tax return each year, which paid back the debt. So we kind of made it through. Fast forward a few years, the recession ends, the economy starts picking up. I was actually able to get back into that old industry and start my career again, and got my career to a level I'd never attained, highest level I'd ever been. And here, guess what? Still couldn't save a penny. I had not a penny left over. How does that happen? How can you increase your income and still have nothing left over? Anybody experience that? So here I was. We had not put anything in our savings account. I think we had, I teach people about budgeting and financial planning as part of my coaching. And your first goal is to have 3 months reserves in the bank. I didn't even have 1 month reserve. I figured if I lost my income, we had about 60 days before I lost everything. So I just wanted to put $500 a month in the bank. I thought, wow, this is great. An hour a day, I can start saving. And so when somebody gives you a goal like that seems really, really fluffy, like, oh, I'd like to save some money, ask them why, because it was pretty deep emotion for me just being able to put that money in the bank. Does that make sense? Next question. What would achieving this mean for you and your family? What would achieving this mean for you and your family? The truth is I wanted to buy us a new house. I wanted to buy us a new house. Anybody want a new house? Anybody have that on their goal sheet? We'd outgrown our home. We had 4, we didn't have any kids, obviously, when we started. Now we had 4 kids, and there was no place to put everybody. We were on top of each other, and our mortgage was upside down. At one point, our mortgage was upside down here where I'm in San Diego. We were upside down $250,000 because of the value shift, which is nuts, right? So there was no way we were going to move with no savings. So I thought, man, if I could save money enough, maybe we could move into a new house. This process, by the way, within 5 minutes, I went from, okay, sign me up if I can make an extra buck or two, to, wow, maybe we could buy a new house. I started getting excited about the network marketing opportunity. That's one of the benefits of doing this process. The next question is, why is that meaningful? How does this make you feel? And this, I kind of got stuck a little bit with this one because I wasn't sure, is buying a home a meaningful goal or is it just materialistic? And you guys don't need to answer that. It's more of a rhetorical question, because when I really thought about it, I realized this. It was more symbolic than anything. See, the home for me symbolized my family. And it's not that I needed a new family, but I needed a new life with my family because I wasn't part of it. I wasn't present for them. I was completely missing my children as they grew up because I was busy all the time working. I'd get up in the morning to leave for work. My kids were just getting out of bed. I would kiss them goodbye while they were in their pajamas, and I would go to the office, work all day long, come back in the evening. They'd already had dinner without me. They were getting ready for bed. That was me. I'd tuck them in. That was my relationship with my kids. And there was no change. Here I was working all the time. I had this really, I was at this point really excited about my career because it had a lot of status. But we weren't able to save any money. We weren't getting ahead. And I wanted to buy a new home. But honestly, I never really thought about that because I knew I would never be able to do it unless I moved to Texas. That's a little shout out to you guys in Texas. That's why so many people are doing that, by the way, from California. They're like, I can never change my situation, but so I'll have to move to Texas. So, and I have thought about it. But anyway, so something happened to me through this process because I realized that I hadn't given myself a chance to think about that. I was too busy to think about the fact that I was missing my kids growing up and that because I felt like I was doing the right thing and providing for my family, right? That's my duty. Like, honey, you get to be with the kids and enjoy them and be part of their life. Thank God. And I'm going to go work all the time and provide for us. And thinking through this process, I realized, this is messed up. This is not the way it's supposed to be. And so I wrote my very first why. I'm going to tell you guys this process of thinking it through. I wrote my first why statement, which when you get to this last box, let me delete this. You'll see it's the sample text. This is the actual thing that I wrote going through this process. And it was this, my why: to create a life where I never have to worry about money again. I enjoy quality time with my family and I'm present for my children on a daily basis. I'm healthy and full of energy. That's my why statement that I wrote. Just going through these things. None of that stuff was out in the open. It was all buried deep, right? But pulling that out, it changed everything. Creating that why statement changed everything. Now, when I didn't feel like doing it today, even more powerful than a do it anyway wristband was that why confronting me. Because if I choose not to do it today, I'm choosing to stay stuck in my current life. Whereas if I just muscle through 20 minutes with Teamzy, by the way, we're just going to make the time it takes this much shorter when you use Teamzy. Now I'm affirming that I'm working towards that goal. And the mindset shift of writing this down and having it in front of me, by the way, whatever you put in that box will save to your Teamzy dashboard every day. It's in front of you. I want you to read it out loud to yourself, even if you feel like a nerd, because it's very powerful for your subconscious to hear your voice reading it. I even recommend you go beyond that, write it down and put it on, tape it to the mirror where you brush your teeth every day. Do you guys brush your teeth in front of a mirror? Twice a day, everyone at least? That is the best place to put your why and any affirmations you're working on. Just so you know, because you're going to do it twice and you're doing a repeated physical action while reading it, which hardwire that to your subconscious. So if you're not already doing that, there's a little free tip for you. Do that, okay? As soon as I wrote this down, things happened. Within 90 days, I left my corporate career. See, I wrote this down and I realized something. Network marketing wasn't my extra money. My career was my extra money. I said, you know what? These guys are going to pay me a 6-figure salary to figure out my network marketing business. They're my side hustle. My side hustle was between 8 and 5, and that was when I went to work. And my real hustle was the rest of the time. Does that make sense? Within 3 months, I was able to leave that business, come home. Of course, I had nowhere to work at home. We were on top of each other. My wife and I we shared a room with the baby. We had a crib next to our bed. So some of you guys know the story. I went to Home Depot and I got one of those Tough Sheds from the parking lot. You know the ones that when you walk in, they have them outside, you can walk in. I walked in one and I was like, oh, this one's pretty good. I can stand up in the middle. I had it delivered to my backyard, dropped on the dirt, no foundation. I ran an extension cord out there. My son helped me build a desk out of an old closet door and a pallet. I threw my Mac out there and I started, it was like Richard Simmons sweating to the oldies out there in the shed. But you know what? I was making it happen. I was building my business. I was doing trainings like this out there in the summer, like just sweat pouring off of me. Little space here between my legs in the winter. Thankfully, I live in San Diego, so it's not that extreme, but it's pretty hot in summer. And I made it happen. We called it the shed quarters and, the Shawfest. And if you guys go dig around on Teamzy YouTube, you'll find some old videos live from the Shawfest, live from the shed quarters. That was only less than 3 years ago. Amazing. So cool. Made it happen. The why is what was the catalyst for everything. And then the moments when you don't feel like doing it, your why is there. Even better when you share your why with your team, you share your why with your spouse, and you let them smack you in the head with it. Well, I thought you wanted to have a better life. I thought you didn't want to stay stuck in your job. So you really going to blow it off? Okay. All right. Little passion tangent. I'm going to stop beating you over the head with the why. Get the why done. Don't let your team go without a why. I teach my people. We do a Teamzy boot camp every quarter for top leaders in the industry. I teach them that if you have a new person on your team who doesn't want to do the why, they are not going to be a leader on your team. That's one of your first qualifiers. Hold on, I'm going to just shut these blinds. So I've not got all these stripes going. All right, let's get into Teamzy. Let's finish setting this thing up. That's a little better, right? Where am I? So the last step here of setting this up. So whatever you put in this last box here, you don't even have to spell it right. Whatever you put in that's your why statement. When you click continue, it'll save that to your dashboard, okay? Last step is get all your contacts into Teamzy. First thing you're gonna wanna do is get your list of coaches from your back office, put it into Teamzy. Then you're gonna get your client list into Teamzy, okay? Then you're gonna get your pre-clients, all your prospects. And the way we do that, we usually start with our Facebook friends, okay? You can actually export your Facebook friends list completely from Facebook, put it right into Teamzy. Then you won't be digging around Facebook trying to find messages. It'll all be in one place, organized, okay? There's some videos here that will help you with those imports. I'm gonna skip the wizard and show you something real quick. We also have over here on the left side, the Help Center. I'm just gonna click that so you can see it. The Help Center has more videos, trainings, webinars. It also has all these written FAQs. Okay, so you can find most of the help you need right there. We also have an online community on Facebook that you can join. You can ask the community or search there. But also we always has this little help button everywhere in Teamzy. So if you want help, you just click that, send us a message. Our professional team will help you as well, okay? So once you get everything set up, there's one more step for setup, and then we'll be able to crush a power hour together. So from the dashboard, you'll see the next thing is team. Team is like where your whole CRM lives, where your lists are. And we consider everybody your team. Whether they're pre-clients, clients, or coaches, they're your team. Because remember, we're in the advocate building business. So even somebody who's never bought from you is bringing people to business as you build those relationships. All right, so the last step for setup is called ranking. And what'll happen is you'll automatically be brought here after a bulk import, or you can turn it on right here with this menu, rank mode. Rank mode lets you go down and rank each person. We rank everybody on a 5-star scale, okay? Just like you rank Netflix, Amazon, whatever. 5 stars is fantastic. 1 star, not fantastic. You guys get that intuitively? This is an important piece because relationship marketing depends on this principle. You should spend more time with the best people, okay? You should spend more time with the best people. How many of you guys have thousands of connections already? Anybody? Yeah. So let's say out of 5,000 connections, you've got 100 people that you have a great relationship with. If you don't rank your list, you could go months without connecting at all with any of those great 100 people. And you should be connecting with those best people more often because that relationship's already warmest. Does that make sense? So here's what these mean. I'll go through the definitions really quick. Basically, though, you can go from your gut. If you feel great about somebody, they're a higher rank, right? But these are the basic definitions I use. A 5-star is someone most likely to become a client or coach, or they're an existing client or coach that's a rock star, right? your mom, your siblings, they're also going to be 5-star people that you want to talk to all the time. Okay. They show up every 30 days. A 5-star person shows up every 30 days on your connect list. Now, somebody that is a 4-star, there's somebody likely to become a client or coach with a little nurturing, right? Or they're your team. They're solid performing people on your team. They're going to show up on your list every 60 days. 3 stars, they could go either way. Most of your people will be 3 stars. They show up every 90 days. Okay, so you guys see how they cycle through at different cadences? And then 2 stars, now they're getting colder. They show up every 120 days. Your 1-star people will actually never come up automatically, but they're in Teamzy if you need to look them up. This allows you to stay in contact with everybody on your list, right? But also spend more time with the best people naturally without having to plan or think. Now, once you set this up once, you never have to plan your power hour again. You don't have to save or anything. It auto saves. I'm going to go back to the dashboard. You'll never have to plan your power hour again. You just come here each day and do your power hour. Okay? It's pretty awesome. If you've got a huge list, what I recommend you do, because everyone will be a 3 to start, is just scroll down it and look for the 4s and 5s. Just cherry pick those out to get started. Make sense? Because you can change these as you go too. All right, so now we're ready. Here's the dashboard. I'll just show it to you really quick and then we'll do a power hour. Right here, today's activities, this band right here, these are the goals that we set up. Every day you'll look at these and it'll tell you what you need to do for today, which is to connect with 10 pre-clients, 6 clients, 4 coaches in this example. Okay. Your power hour is done right here where it says power hour, the up next. There's 2 pieces to this. The left side has your lists. The right side is where you log your activity. Pretty simple. You've got 4 lists here, your pre-clients, your clients, your coaches, and your follow-ups. Okay. Each list only shows you 5 people at a time. That's by design. That's to keep you from getting overwhelmed, and it's to keep you focused. Because let's be honest, if you saw 100 names there, you would start scrolling the list and cherry picking people off the list, right? And what we want you to do is work systematically through the list based on who's up next. All right, so are you guys ready? Let's go ahead and start a power hour. I'll demonstrate this for you. This goal today is to connect with 20 people. This is maybe 15 minutes work, okay? 15 minutes to connect with the 20 people, and then the rest of your power hour will be working your follow-ups after you've been doing this a few weeks and you fill that follow-ups list. So let me show you how it works. First, I'm going to start with my pre-clients. First person on my list is somebody named Melodie. All right. Who knows? Maybe she's a good prospect. What do you think, Joe? Is she good? Not bad, right? Okay, so let's try it again. Let's see if we can strike gold twice. So one thing I want you guys to notice is right up here in my browser, I've got Facebook opened in another tab because I like Facebook Messenger. That's my favorite way to send communication to people because it gets the best response rate. Right now, you've got a great opportunity where people are responding like crazy on Facebook Messenger. If I didn't have them there and then I would text them, that would be my next best way to do it. Okay, so I'm going to connect with Melodie. Maybe you're like me and you have no clue what you would say to start this conversation, right? And this is where we get into the stinking overthinking. So look, what I want you to do is just go right here to the middle of the bottom of this box and click on scripts. I've already put a few great conversation starting scripts or non-salesy in here for you. They've been tried and tested by now more than 60,000 network marketers. They work great. People go, well, if everybody's using it, trust me, this doesn't sound like a canned thing that people are sending out. So here's what we're gonna do. We'll go to Facebook. I'm gonna grab the first one on my list, connect one. This is what it sounds like. Hi, Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome. It's so simple. Now you can take these and change them around a little bit, make them sound like you. Don't change them too much because they're super effective, right? Here's another one that I like to use sometimes. Hi, Jane, I saw you across my Facebook feed and I thought I'd say hello. How are you? Hope your day's awesome. All right, so I'm gonna grab that one just as an example. This is a great one for someone you've never talked to but you're Facebook friends with because it's just natural. It's like, and they're like, do I know you? That could happen. And you just say, well, we're Facebook friends. I saw you, thought I'd say hi. I mean, we're Facebook friends. We might as well be friends. All right, so here's what I did. I copied, I don't know if you guys saw, there was a little button that said copy script. I clicked it. So what I do is I'll go ahead and paste it right in Teamzy so that I can do my editing here and not accidentally send it. So I'm going to send this to Melodie. Okay. And I might like to add, how many of you guys like to do emoticons? I love emoticons. Let's do an emoticon. Oh, that didn't come out pretty. That's my Mac. It sometimes does that kind of stuff. Here's a funny one. There we go. Whatever, you get the idea. You customize it the way you want it. All right, so here we go. What I'm going to do now that I've got this script exactly like I want it, I'm actually going to copy it here, and I'm going to jump over to Facebook and send it to her. Okay, so I'll just look her up here. There she is. I'll send her this message. Okay, send. So now it's sent through Messenger. Okay, go back to Teamzy. Now I'm going to finish logging in. I just need to say it was a Facebook message. Now watch what happens when I click the big blue log connect button. Now it's logged in Teamzy, and Melodie's off my list. She's gone. Done. I've already done it. The next person is up. You'll notice I've got a 1 up on my scoreboard right here. Next person's Jay. I'm going to use that same script. It's already on my clipboard. I'm just going to change the name. Always, by the way, little pro tip for those of you guys who are not used to sending a lot of messages in Messenger, always use their actual name in the message. That way you're never sending the same message over and over, and you'll never get in trouble with Facebook. They'll think you're, you know what I mean, spamming or whatever. So look, now it's all ready to go. It only took me a second. Now I'm going to send that one to Jay. Looks like I'm already getting, see, look, I already got a response from Melodie. Did you see that notification? Now here's a little pro tip. Don't get sidetracked and start having a conversation with them as the messages come back until you've finished all your outgoing messages. All right? Because we'll be done in 15 minutes, and then you can have some of those conversations if you like, but don't get sidetracked or you'll never get all your messages out. So here's the next one, same message, send. Do you guys see how easy this is? Now I'm going to go back to Teamzy. By the way, you can do this on your mobile phone. So you can be doing all this mobile once you've got it set up. So you guys that are driving, one of you could be doing this. All right, so this is logs. Look, now I've got 2. Do you guys see how quick I could get to 10? You don't even have to change the script, especially if you're new. First time through your database, you can use the entire, everybody could get that first hello script. The script is designed to help you start the conversation. When they respond, now it's up to you to have a natural conversation with them. Ask questions, have the conversation. Are you with me? We're not going to script the whole conversation for you. We just want to get it started for you. So now I'm going to keep going down my list of pre-clients until I hit my goal, which is 10. When I hit that, I'm going to go to the next list, which is clients. These are my customers. I'm going to start connecting with them the same way. Now, I'll just go to Kathy. She's the first person. I'll do the same thing. I'll go to scripts. Now, Teamzy knows now that I'm on customers, it gives me new scripts, right? Here's a great script for asking for a recommendation. Freddie, you're getting such great results. You must be feeling pretty good about the progress you're making. I'm planning my calendar now, looking at who I'll be able to help this month, and before it fills up, I wanted to ask you if there's anybody you care about that might like to learn more about OptaVia. Great, send me over their contact info and I'll get them some more information. Here's a great script for you guys. Would you guys use that? Yeah, or you might just do something simple like this. Jane, you are doing so great. I'm proud of you. Congratulations on losing 8 pounds this week, right? Or whatever. So you're sending these messages to people. These are your customers. And it's so crucial. A lot of times people think staying in touch with customers is like this. Hey, your order's about to ship. Do you want to add anything to it? And there's nothing wrong with that. But my point is have a relationship with people, because they'll tell you when you're in touch with people, they'll ask you, hey, I saw you post about this other product. Do you think I should be using that? Or what do you think of this? Or have you tried this? You'll be amazed. Now, what I want you guys to know is this. I talk to people all the time in this business, and I talk to a lot of leaders who have thousands of customers. Over the years, they built that, right? And what they all have in common is that they tend to neglect those people. They say, I'm really embarrassed, but I just haven't been able to stay in touch with them. I just can't keep track of it. Now, here's the thing. I understand that. That is a real issue, but now with Teamzy, you don't have that issue. It's easy. It just, even if you've got thousands, if you're able to send 6 or 7 messages a day, you're gonna churn through that list. But I want you guys to understand 2 things that are super important. One is if you are in regular contact with your customers, they will order more product. I'm not slowing it down because I think you guys are slow. I'm slowing down my words so that you get it written down, because it's so important to understand this. If you're in regular contact with your customers, they'll order more. They'll order more product. This is a known fact. If everyone on your team In fact, guys, I've seen this happen where a team leader gets on Teamzy, gets the whole team on Teamzy for a 30-day trial, and then goes, wow, our team volume went up 40% this month. Why do you think that is? Because if you're in contact, first of all, you'll be generating new business. But if you're in contact with your current clients, they'll order more. If you're in regular contact, they'll just order more. A lot of times people are afraid to contact people because they're afraid they're going to uncover a customer service problem, which is training. Leaders, that's training you guys can help them with, because uncovering a customer service problem is the greatest gift to your business, because the most loyal customers are only built after something's gone wrong. People who are always have been pleased from the get-go can easily leave. It's the people who got to see your service in action that really, so don't worry about that, but stay in touch. They'll order more. That's a good reason to do it. Now, they'll also stay on a recurring order longer. The retention will go up if you're in regular contact with them, because there are a lot of people, despite the fact that your products are awesome, there are a lot of people who will continue to be your client because they like having you as their coach. They want the relationship with you. As soon as the relationship's gone, think about how many things you pay a little bit more for in your life because of the relationship, right? The gas station that's 5 cents more, but you like the people who own it, right? There's so many things in our life like that. And the same is true for your customers. So stay in touch with them. The second reason that you need to be in regular contact with your customers, how am I doing on time? Okay, I need to speed it up. I feel like I'm going fast, but there's so much I want to give you guys. Is this, how many of you guys would like a new customer, or few, or 10 this month? Anyone? Yeah. Where do you go to get them? What's the best place to get a new customer? Anybody know the answer to this one? The best place to get a new customer is from a current customer. The best place, I'll say it again, the best place to get a new customer is from a current customer, because somebody who's getting results is talking about it already with people, right? True? How many of you guys, that was you? Your customers who are getting results right now have already developed several new customers for you. They're ready to buy already. Some of them have already bought. They've figured it out. They've gone online and they bought it. They didn't get it from you though, did they? You got to be in touch regularly. You have to uncover who they're talking to and get introduced. Okay? If you've had one customer who's had results, you will have, and you work that relationship and you serve that person and you get introduced to their friends, you will never have to do any other lead generation technique ever. Your pipeline will always be full. Make sense? Okay, so stay in touch with your customers. Sorry, I had to go off on that tangent. I had to do it. Next, we're going to talk about your coaches, your team. Same thing. So you're going to you'll go down and connect with your clients until they're totally connected for your goal. Then you go to your coaches. It's called Teamzy for a reason, because it's about building family, community, culture with your team. Just like your clients, your team will retain longer for the relationship than they will for the income. However, we'll get them into Teamzy and help them make some income too. They need to hear from you personally. Having a Facebook page for your team, great. Getting on a live Zoom call and training them, that's great. Messaging them personally, one-on-one from time to time, that is solid gold. And if you're not sure that that's true, try it. Send them messages. Look, I'm going to give you my favorite script for a team member right here. It's under scripts. Hi, Jane, just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. So many people tell me, I don't really get support from my upline. Now, what's amazing about that statement is sometimes it's true. A lot of times there's all kinds of support. There's web pages with trainings. Somebody has spent hours making training videos. They have created the whole curriculum for them. But what they mean is they don't have a personal connection. So I'm beseeching you guys, use Teamzy, build those relationships. Doesn't take but a second to make somebody's day, and build your team that way. Scale up that way. Okay, last list is follow-ups. Notice there's nobody there. It's empty. The follow-ups list is not automatic. You have to put people there. So how do I put people on my follow-ups list? So you guys see, by the way, do you guys see how I could do the first 3 lists, my 20 connects, in 15 minutes? Do you guys see how possible that is, especially using the scripts, copying and pasting, just jamming through it? Now what happens is people will start to respond. Now, what happens when they respond? And I have to tell you, every once in a while, it surprises me. Somebody will message me and go, it worked. They responded. Now what do I do? I say, have a conversation with them. And for those of you guys who get freaked out about this, just pretend they're in front of you. And you said, hi. And they said, hey, what have you been up to? And just have the conversation. If it's in Messenger, just like it was in person. Okay? And ask them some questions. Uncover interest. What you're doing in the conversation. So just to kind of clarify the goals here. The connect has one goal, which is to make someone's day, right? And start the conversation. Make someone's day and start the conversation. The conversation's goal is to help. So what you're doing is, your goal is not, okay, how do I transition this to sell my business? If that's what you're thinking about, you're not going to get great results. It's like, we always talk about having an open hand. If I was going to fill your picture, like it's Thanksgiving and I have this big basket of these beautiful, delicious dinner rolls. I know it's probably the wrong thing for this group to talk about, but let's just, as an example, right? So I've got this big basket of delicious dinner rolls, and my goal is to give you as many as I can, and your goal is to receive as many as you can. But if you're like this, how many can you fit? But if you're like this, if you approach your business open, how much can you receive? And so when we get all caught up on how do I transition this to my business, they know it. Here's what I want you to do. When you're talking to them, when you're having the conversation with them, your goal is to help them. Your goal is to listen, ask questions, figure out where they need help, and offer it. Give it to them. Now, are there going to be opportunities to help them with what you do in your business? Of course. And as you're connecting with people, you will uncover the people who are ready now as you go, which is great, so that your pipeline will always be full. But a lot of people will need something else. Maybe they need prayer today. Something heavy's going on. Maybe they need a recommendation to a new dentist for their kids. Maybe they maybe they're just struggling with something, and you can order them a book on Amazon specifically geared towards helping that. I don't know. Figure out a way to help them. This is how you build the relationship. Now, in some cases, as you're talking to them, on that first conversation, it's the back and forth. Well, they'll say, what about you, Eric? What have you been up to? And I may share a little bit of my story. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know if you know, we haven't talked in a while, but I recently lost 60 pounds. You did? Yeah. I feel amazing. Well, what are you doing these days? Well, I left my job 3 years ago. I actually work out of the house now. What are you doing? I tell them, well, it's all related to my weight loss. I lost the weight. People were asking me about it. I was excited. I started sharing it, and it's just been unbelievable. Okay. Do you guys see now? I'm just telling what I'm doing now. It's the same conversation. And so some people will be interested in learning more, So I might say, Melodie, if you're interested in learning a little bit more about this, my team's actually doing an event tonight on Facebook. We're going to talk about the business opportunity and the business, and some people will be sharing their testimonies. And it'll be a great opportunity for you to learn about it. If you're interested in that, I'll send you the link right now and invite you to it. And you can just tune in and learn about it. And she says, yeah, I might be really interested in checking that out. Cool. Great. I'll send you that link right now, Melodie. And what I'll do is I'll just connect with you tomorrow and see if you have any questions. Sound good? Perfect. You guys with me? Now, I might do that on the phone via Zoom. It might happen through Messenger. Typically, though, if somebody's showing some interest, I would say, hey, do you have a minute? Let's jump on a Zoom, or let's jump on a call and talk for a minute. Does that make sense? So that's how I'd invite somebody. Now let me show you how to log it in Teamzy. Just to clarify, I'm not a fan of calling people on the phone, but I love talking to people on the phone. Do you see the difference? Because people don't like it when their phone rings unexpectedly. So I always set an appointment to talk, if that makes sense, through Messenger or text. It's just weird. We just don't like the phone anymore. In 10 years or 20 years, we went from talking. How many of you guys as teenagers, like your parents had to take the phone out of your hands because you would talk on it all night long, right? I have a teenager. I don't think he's ever used the phone for a call except to talk to us when we call him. Okay. So here's what we do. I'm talking to Melodie. I've invited her now, and now I'm going to log in on her record. Now notice she's not on my dashboard anymore because I already connected with her. She won't come back on my dashboard for 30 days because she's 5 stars. So to find her, I just look her up in this little lookup bar. Okay, there she is. I click on that, it brings me to her full contact record. Now what I'll do is I'll click on this connect box to open that box just like on the dashboard. But this time what I want to do is see where it says invite here on the bottom left. I'm going to click that because this is not a regular connect. This is actually going to be a, let's call it a Zoom call. Okay? So it's a Zoom call that she's logging into. Great. So I'm just going to put in here a little note. It's a Zoom call. Great. And I sent it via email. Great. Boom. So I'm going to log this on her record so that now I know I've invited her to a Zoom call. But wait a second. Before you log this, when did I tell her I would follow up? Tomorrow. And when will she come back on my list? 30 days. So I need to set a follow-up. See right here it says follow-up? I'm going to click that. This will allow me to put her on my follow-ups list for tomorrow. Now when I log the connect, you'll see follow-up, it's set for tomorrow. So check it out on my dashboard. Now that list that was empty, I have somebody on my follow-ups list. She's right there. She's no longer on my pre-clients list. She's temporarily going to live on my follow-ups list. So as I'm connecting with people and uncovering interest, when people are interested, I'll invite them to something. And then I'll put them on my follow-ups list. So if I was following my goals, every day I would message 20 people and 3 of them would become follow-ups, would become invites and then get on my follow-ups list. By Friday, I should have 15 people on my follow-ups list. Qualified, interested people. Okay? Now, just so you guys, those of you guys who are just getting started, you just need to understand those conversations will take a few weeks to compound. So you may not be getting the invites until about your 4th week of your Teamzy trial. That last week, though, you should be filling up that invite list because you'll have been messaging people through a couple weeks. Make sense? But once you get going in Teamzy past your 30 days and you continue to do it, your pipeline's always going to be full. And so on your power hour, this is how it looks. You come through and you send your outgoing messages. Boom, pre-clients. Boom, your clients. Boom, your coaches. And then you're going to go down your follow-ups list and work your follow-ups. Let me show you how to do it really quick. And then I'm going to give you a brief training on how to follow up. I'm going to make it real brief because I've been going a long ways, but I think you guys will like it. So here's how to do it. I'm going to set my follow-up. I'm going to send my follow-up to Melodie. What I'll do, just like a regular connect, I'm going to go to scripts. By the way, I've got you covered with 10 follow-up scripts in here, numbered in order. Okay? And then I'm going to explain to you why they work so great. So I'll go to Facebook. Look, follow-up number 1. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Great. Simple, easy peasy. I'm going to send that to her. I'll go in here and I'll change it to the right name. Right, all good to go. That was easy. I'm going to now send it over here. Let's look her up again. Oh, look, there she is. She's already up. She's already messaging me back. That's right. Great. Okay. Boom. Sent. So that's how we followed up. By the way, look at this. This is a message I just got. I haven't even read it. I just saw that it was I can't even articulate how much I appreciate it. She's talking about Teamzy. Plus, I know that God is using it to reach the right people. I had a friend I reached out to today with an encouraging word. She told me she needed it. She was just going in for a breast biopsy. She knew God had sent me at the right time. Super powerful. That's just like, I didn't stage that. That's just here on my screen. I just want you guys to know, like, this approach, it's just so meaningful. Okay, so look, there's the follow-up. I'm going to log it the same way, but make sure, guys, this is really important. Make sure you set the next follow-up. I'm going to follow up again. Maybe I'll follow up again in 2 days. Okay? So set your next follow-up before you log this, or else she comes off the follow-ups list. You want to keep her on the follow-ups list. So now she'll be on the follow-up list again. So I sent her that follow-up. Next time I'll come in and I'll grab follow-up number 2. Okay? And the next time I'll come in and I'll grab follow-up number 3. How easy is that? You guys have it you guys are so great that you weren't here when we first launched Teamzy because we've refined it so much over the years. Now, here's the thing I want you guys to understand really quick. The fortunes in the follow-up. You've heard this. Did you guys know this statistic? 80% of all sales happen between the 7th and the 10th follow-up. 80%. You guys know this? 80% of all sales between the 7th and 10th follow-up. Oh, okay. Let me see who follows up 10 times on every good lead. Anyone? Very few people will raise their hand on that. And the number one reason is they don't have, well, it's maybe not the number one reason, but the most gracious reason I can give you is that you don't have Teamzy yet, so you're not organized enough to stay in touch with somebody that long. But most people will say, I don't do that because I don't want to, I think that would be a pest. I don't want to be annoying. How many of you guys are in that kind of? And I would say most people in this business will follow up maybe 3 times before they let people go. That sound about right? But you guys all nodded your head and understood that 80% of sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. You guys know this. So let me just kind of get you a mindset shift on this. And then I'm going to give you the 2 principles so that you'll never be annoying when you follow up. Okay? I'm going to give you the 2 principles so that you can follow up as much as you want. People will thank you for it. But first, you need a mindset shift. Do you guys believe in your product? Do you think it's life-changing? Raise your hand if you're here to change lives and not just make money. Okay, good. I've got the right tribe. Because I know there's a lot of people out there that's not their primary motivation, right? Step 1 is getting them to purchase the product, correct? I mean, it's really hard to change. I mean, you can give them some advice and stuff, but I mean, really can't really change their life without getting the product in their hands. And if 80% of them won't purchase it until you followed up 7 to 10 times, the only thing you have to help right now, because at this point, if they haven't bought it, the product is irrelevant. The follow-up is the only tool as a coach that you have to help people, at least at step 1. Which is why I always say this, guys, following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love. Write it down, put it somewhere where you can see it every day and remind yourself, following up is an act of love. And not following up enough, this is what it communicates. I don't care enough about you to follow up. Sorry, I followed up 3 times. You should have responded. And I don't mean to sound harsh, but think about when you have been disappointed that somebody failed to follow up with you. Right? Now, I could give you guys an hour training on why people don't respond to follow-ups, but I'm going to summarize it this way. Just trust me on it. There's a lot of science behind it. You can Google it. I would love to do it, but I can't. I know I've been talking to you guys a long time already. Here's the deal. The vast majority of people will not follow up to even your first 5 or 6. I mean, they won't respond to your first 5 or 6 follow-ups. They just won't. They just won't do it. It's not because they're not interested. It's not because they don't like you. It's not because you offended them. It's not because they have an overbearing husband. It's not because they're going through a divorce. It's not because they have no money. It's not because they don't value your time. But these are all the stories you tell yourself when you hear crickets, aren't they? That's imagination. Why do we as human beings have to fill in the other side of the conversation when we hear nothing? Here's the truth of the matter. They're busy, they're distracted, and their subconscious mind, which controls their actions, is afraid of this opportunity that change is scary. And so their subconscious mind distracts them. Every time they want to respond to you, they don't because they get distracted by something important, seemingly important. And this is the way we're wired, is to keep us safe. And so the reason why people will purchase after 7 to 10 is because after a while, we literally reprogram their mind to be receptive to hearing from us. So here are the 2 principles that you need to know to never be annoying when you follow up. Are you ready? And yes, they will contradict what other people have told you, but obviously what you learned before doesn't work because you're not using it. 1, never ask someone to do anything in a follow-up. Never ask someone to do anything in a follow-up. Don't ask me to call you back. Don't ask me to message you back. Don't ask me to respond. Don't ask me to complete my purchase. Don't ask me to RSVP for your event. Don't ask me to do anything in a follow-up. Okay? Your call to action should have been clear in our conversation. Now all I want to do is hear from you. That's it. The second principle is this. Your follow-up should always be texted, either Facebook Messenger or text. Okay? And they need to be short enough they can be read on the notification screen without being opened. I saw a couple of smiles. You guys don't open messages, right? Because you don't want, if you're not going to respond right now, you don't open it because you don't want them to know you've opened it because you don't want to feel like a jerk for not responding. So what you want them to be able to do is see, look on my screen right now, I got a bunch of notifications. If that was a follow-up from you, I should see your whole message there without opening it because all I want is for you to see it. I don't expect you to do anything with it. I know you're not going to respond. I want you to see it. Why? Because when you see it, for a split second, you're going to reconnect to the hope and excitement you had when we talked about the opportunity. And your body is going to release those good emotion chemicals. Just a dose, just a little bit. And then you'll get distracted on purpose by your subconscious mind away from it. We keep doing that and we keep doing that. And eventually what happens is that subconscious says, every time she gets a message from Eric, she has a little dopamine in her system. She smiles, doesn't seem very scary anymore. I'm just going to go on to the next thing. That's the way it works. Like a charm. By the way, here's the best part. It takes you 2 seconds a day. You don't need to sit around going, why is she not responding to me? Just go, oh yeah, that's right. Eric said they don't even respond to 6, most people. I'm right on track. Boom. What am I on? Number 5? Good. And we're getting close. Okay. And then what happens is you get a response like this. Oh my gosh, you're so amazing. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you for staying in touch with me. You wouldn't believe my life the last 3 weeks. How many of you guys, that's been you before when somebody stayed with you? Yeah. But how annoying is it when you get a voicemail that's like, please call me back. Please call me back. Please call me back. Why is that annoying? 2 reasons. 1, I have to open my phone and listen to a voicemail. And now I have to do something else. Like that doesn't work for me. But if I know you're going to stay in touch until I'm ready, perfect. Make sense? The fortunes in the follow-up. You work so hard to invite people to your business. Don't lose them in this phase. Does that make sense? And so if I'm reaching out to Melodie over, let's say, a month or so, and I'm following up, and she signs up, great. I'll show you what to do right now. Let's say she doesn't sign up. Let's say she tells me, Eric, I'm just not ready right now. Great. I'll take her off my follow-ups list, let her flow back into the Teamzy flow. She can't fall through the cracks. She's going to come back on my dashboard a little bit down the road. And guess what I'll do? Hey, Melodie, it's been a while since I checked in. How are you? And she's going to say, I'm great. And sometimes she'll go, oh my gosh, I was thinking about you. I'm ready. That'll happen. But what she won't do, because I've got her in my Teamzy, is post, I just signed up for OptaVia with my cousin Nancy. Right? Okay. So let me show you how to finish her off. So I'm in my dashboard. Boom. I look in my back office. I see she signed up. She came on as a coach. Great. I'm going to look her up in my system. I'm going to go over here. First thing I'll do is log that a sale happened by clicking the sale button. I'm just going to put, let's do a coach kit. Okay. Save. Boom. So now Teamzy knows it resulted in a sale, and I have that recorded in my statistics. As you get more into Teamzy, you can use those statistics to forecast more accurately where your business is going. Now what I'm going to do is see where it says member type. I'm just going to click on coach and personally sponsored. So now that's moved her over to my team. That's where she's going to show up now. And that's how I finish her up. I can release this follow-up if I want, or I can set a new one, let's say, to have our getting started appointment. Okay? And that is how you do it. That's how you take somebody through the whole process of starting a conversation, having a conversation, looking for wants and needs, finding a way to help them, uncovering interest, inviting them to learn about the business, putting them on your follow-ups list, follow up like a pro. And you just do it every day. Boom, 1 hour. Schedule the hour, get in there, create a boatload. I almost said crap load. Is crap load okay to say? Crap load of momentum for your business, and it's awesome. I have to tell you guys, I did a live coaching call last night for the leaders that are in my boot camp. And one of the biggest challenges that they're faced with right now is, Eric, how do I manage the volume of incoming messages? Anybody want to sign up for that problem? Yeah, that's a real problem. That is where I want you guys to be. I want you guys to be in the place where you're like, I'm feeling just a little bit overwhelmed with all these conversations I'm trying to keep going right now. Because that means things are happening that are great in your business. And the other thing that happens, we talked about this versus this. When you have a lot of opportunities in front of you, you very rarely approach people like this. When you have no opportunities in front of you and you see one, you're like, this is it. This is my person, right? I need you to buy so I can qualify this month or whatever. When you have a lot of conversations going, you just have a different approach. It gives you a confidence. It lets you just focus on helping people. and knowing that when the dust settles, you're going to be consistently producing every month, right? So just real quick, one of the things that I love about this business model is, yes, you're still going through a lot of people, you're still going through numbers, but instead of throwing away the majority, everybody's getting cultivated. Does that make sense? And you're creating a community around you. You're what everybody has in common. You will be the go-to person for them. Make sense? So real quick, do you guys have any questions? If you have questions on any of this, just unmute and go ahead and ask away, and I'll spend a few more minutes with you guys. I know we've been on a long time, and just to answer a couple of your questions, then we'll take off.
Hey, we have a question, and I'm sorry about the background noise because we happen to be going down the highway.
No worries.
So as a married couple who have two different Facebooks,
You froze on me.
And he froze. So the two different Facebooks, how I'm guessing, how do you import both Facebooks into one and keep track of each other's? I'm guessing that's what he's asking.
Yeah. So are you back?
we wrote your signal area is horrible.
Are we here?
Are we back?
You're back.
Okay, good. So bad. Yeah, how do we use it as one account?
Okay, so what I would do is when you import your Facebook people, let me show you.
If I already have the account though.
You can actually tag it. So what I would do is I would tag it as, when you tag it in each one, put your name as a tag so we know which account it came from. So like if I go to my team page to do an import, I think I actually have a Facebook file here recently. Let me see here. Yep, look, there it is. There's my Facebook file. So I'm going to get a real file, show you what it looks like. Okay, so when it comes in, what you do right here, it says type some tags. I might write Eric's friend. Okay. So now every single one of these people will be tagged with it. Now what's cool is you both do it. And people will have two tags if they're both your friends.
So okay. What if I have already been using it and I have not tagged all my people? Do I need to like go restart it?
Well, you can so you can import that list again. It will not duplicate people that are already there, but it will add a tag. So you can import the list and put the tag on everybody.
But it will keep all their notes in there.
Yep. Yep. So if the people that already exist, all it will do to their record is add the tag, and then the new people will create records for them. But so a couple of little tips on this though for husband and wife. It's kind of weird sometimes if husband reaches out to a woman or if wife reaches out to a man, right? So one of the things that I find has worked really well for people is to do a message together, like, right? So the message is from two of you. So, hey, Nick and I were talking about you. We just thought we'd say hi. So you do like the little group messages sometimes to couples or to single people, you do it from both of you. And that avoids some weird stuff sometimes where people get the wrong idea, which as a guy, it's never happened to me, but I work with a lot of women. They're like, oh my gosh, I used your simple little text message and somebody thought I was proposing marriage to them type thing. So those are just a couple things you can do. But as a couple, it helps because she can now go into your account and message your friends and vice versa if you do it that way. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. But I would have to have access to his Facebook though to actually communicate with him.
Well, not if I create the message with the three of us.
Yeah,
that's what you're saying, right?
I'm saying, you guys could do it together or you could even give her access or he could give you access. You could give him access if you guys wanted to do that. There's different things that you could do like that. But the only problem with doing that is if you get into a full conversation, you don't want to be impersonating him if you get into a full conversation. So, you know what I mean?
Pretty much he talks to the guys and I talk to the girls. That's kind of what we've been doing.
Right on, that's cool. So but that's what I would do. Use one account, import both lists, and just tag them.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I didn't realize tagging at the beginning would tag all of them all the way through. So then I can filter out just mine to do my Teamzy. Now on the stats, sorry to take up so much time, but on the stats, I'm assuming that when I import mine in, it'll be like having my own account sort of, or do the stats carry over to the same list?
No, you're going to only have one account, and all the stats will be combined with everything that's done in that account.
Okay.
So we want to double our, like if it.
Yeah, I would double my goals, or unless you want to have separate accounts. Some couples do have separate accounts. It just depends on how you guys want to do it, But yeah, like if you each have an individual income goal, you're gonna want to do more activity, right? Like let's say you both. Do you guys have a goal? When you think of income, do you think of like this is what our family income is, or do you each say in my business center I want to make this, and in my business center I want to make this?
No, we think family.
Okay, so the goal's already going to be there, based on what kind of income you guys want.
I don't know what you put in, but yeah, I got you now.
Makes
sense. Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to add them into the rotation, basically.
Yep.
And if it pops up with someone that has a nick next to it, then that's going to be for me to follow up on, not her.
But if I click, okay, so if as they're popping up though, if they're all his and I'm going through trying to do my part, do I just skip that his and will it turn back up for him?
You will, you're going to get, if you skip it, it will come back in a week for him.
Oh.
So you guys, there's going to be a little bit of a dance that you're going to have to do to do that, but I don't think it'll be that big a deal because the chance of it being 5 in a row that are only his, right?
Yeah.
But okay, let me just go back to Teamzy real quick to show you how you would look for this tag. If I'm talking to this guy Maynard, all I have to do to see tag is I click on details for a second and all the tags are right there.
Okay.
Okay, so right there you can toggle over and see the tags. So yeah, I mean, if you get to a point where it's like all 5 of these are his and you can't move, then skip one. It's no big deal. He'll get it in a week. It's not like it skips it for a long time. And just, keep working it. I think it'll work though. For the most part, I don't think you're going to hit a log jam on it too much.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is if you put in the dollar amount that is for family and it's sized as such, then by all means, it doesn't matter if it's my 5 or her 5 or my 10 or her 10. Either way, we're making 10 contacts to reach our goal or whatever the contact number is.
Yep.
So.
Or cool. She might just be like, hey, what I would do is I would go, hey, you know what? I'm trying to do Teamzy and they're all your people. Can you just get out your phone and send some connects? Clear this list. Come on, man. Crank it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do quick 5. I need you to do 5 connects and clear this list for me so I can keep going.
Yeah. Well, and we talked about the 2 accounts, but the thing is we have the same clients and the same coach team, so it didn't make sense for us to have 2 accounts. We wanted to kind of share.
Yeah, one makes total sense. There's no reason to do it.
Okay.
I bought 2 copies of the book, by the way.
You got the hardback and you get the written book and the audio book?
Well, they give you the audio when you're on Prime.
Yeah.
So I have it to start already, and then I bought 2 paperback versions right away. So I'll check that out because I listen to a lot of motivational stuff in the morning.
Yeah.
On my way into work, because I have my side hustle from 8 to 5.
I like that.
So, and then so on my way to my side hustle, I tend to do my devotional stuff or motivational videos. So.
And we're originally from California, but we moved to Texas.
I love it. Well, you know what? I think this call was worth it for you just for that mindset shift right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The 8 to 5 side hustle.
Yeah, that was great.
It was good.
Change your perspective.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Anyway, sorry to monopolize.
Oh, no worries. Anyone else have any more questions? Okay, I'm going to give you guys a quick couple action steps, then I'm going to bless you and send you on your way. All right, let me just do this real quick. Where was I? Okay, so here's your action steps. First of all, go get your 30-day free trial. If you haven't already done that, get your 30-day free trial. It's free for 30 days. No credit card required. Nothing weird. Go get it. Next thing is choose a 30-day success partner with you to do the free trial. Oh, the other piece of that first action step was if you're already in the free trial, get your subscription set up now so you don't miss a beat when the trial ends. You can set it up anytime. You won't get billed until the free time's over. So get a 30-day success partner, number 2, to do the trial with you. So for you guys I was just talking to who are married, get somebody else outside of your marriage to be your success partner. And here's what I want you guys to do with this success partner is each day when you finished your Teamzy task for the day, you take a little screen grab. I saw Melodie post a couple of these in our group. A screen grab of your finished dashboard and message it over to your success partner. Okay, the accountability is going to be huge and it's going to help you get so much more out of the 30 days. Okay, the other thing that I want you guys to do is I'm going to give you a 5-day challenge. So in 5 days, I want you to connect with 100 people. 5 days in a row, consecutive with 100 people. That's 20 people average per day. And it could be any combo of pre-clients, clients, and coaches. I don't care. The 5-day challenge is key though, because I want you to experience how much momentum can be created in just 5 days. Okay? So do that so that you can get that experience. Now, what'll happen is after 5 days, you're going to be like, I need to take a week off from Teamzy because I have so many things going on. If you do it right. But that's good. I want you to feel that because then you start to understand how just this approach, a heart-centered relationship approach can actually generate more business for you. The cool thing about it is what we didn't talk about today, because I didn't have time, is that as you do this, not only will you be generating what you need this month and next month and the month after, but you'll be creating a foundation for your business because all of those relationships and advocates will be bringing people to your business. They'll be referring people to you and you won't have to go beat the bushes forever. I talk to people all the time. I was working with somebody yesterday who has 65,000 people on her team. And she's like, I can't stop what I'm doing for a minute or it all falls apart. She's like, I have no relationships. I did what they told me. I just blitzed people. Now I need to find new people because all my old people don't want to talk to me. And I have to figure out how to keep the momentum going because I have no foundation. So approaching your business systematically, but with relationships allows you to build a foundation so that you have a real team, a real culture. And the team is beyond the people who sign up. The team is everybody that you're connecting with as you become the go-to person. When they say, somebody says, the doctor says I need to lose 50 pounds or I'm going to die. They say, I know exactly who you need to talk to. I know exactly who. I know somebody who's an expert at this. They help people with this all the time. You should talk to this person. Make sense? And it's the way business was designed to be done. So hopefully that was really helpful for you guys. Who's in for the 5-day challenge? Some public accountability here. Good. Cool. Maybe Melodie will create a challenge. One thing too, Melodie, I didn't talk to you about, but hopefully you figured out in Teamzy, there's a thing called the team report. And, or Joe, actually, I guess Joe is your coach. So Joe, maybe it's you that does this, but he's saying, nope, it's Melodie. Okay, whatever. Whoever wants to do it. You get people on the team report and you will see their Teamzy stats every day in your account.
Oh.
And then you can hold them accountable on team calls and you can see what they're doing or what they're not doing. In fact, let me just show you. Let me just show you real quick. So I have my boot camp one right now. Let's see how my boot camp's doing today. I'll show you. This one looks slightly different because it's a custom one, but it's the same idea. This up so you guys can see it.
So ironically, the Texas couple that you were talking to has probably been the longest running users on this call.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, check this out. Let me share this with you real quick and then I'm going to go. I gotta tuck my babies into bed. Here it is. This is my boot camp. Okay, so check this out, you guys. This shows me, this is today. This shows me what people are doing on this team. It shows me how many connects they made, how many follow-ups, how many invites they've sent, who's hit their goals. Double flames means that they've gone above and beyond in both categories. Now, if I scroll down, like these are all the people that are kicking butt, right? Now, if I scroll down, it'll start showing me, not to embarrass anybody, but so I'll go quick, but see the little sleepy emoticons? So it tells me who's taking the day off or whatever. It's so cool, the accountability. So if you say, like, we're going to do a challenge, everybody getting a free trial, you need to get on my team report. And when we have a team call on Wednesday, I'm going to pull it up. So what happens?
Holy smokes, that is amazing.
So what happens on Wednesday morning is people who have done squat all week are crushing Teamzy numbers because they don't, hopefully. Again, this is also telling because the ones who show up with a call with nothing, they are also sending you a message. Maybe they need encouragement, or maybe they're telling you that they're not really motivated. Maybe they don't have their why yet. I don't know, but it's telling you something, right? So, and then you'll start seeing things like, this is me, for example, with my group, is last week, I noticed that the number of connects and the number of the number of follow-ups and the number of invites were about the same. And I said, we're 7 weeks in, the number of follow-ups should be about 5 times the number of invites. So why aren't you guys following up this week? And people are like, guilty, 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 guilty. I've let my follow-up list go. So that team report really helps you hold people accountable to doing what they said they wanted help being held accountable to. Does that make sense? So it's very powerful. Now, what's even more powerful for the leader is the leader is not going to show up with nothing on their report. So that holding your team accountable makes you so much better. Just like being a coach helps you be healthy, right? So the team report works both ways, but definitely you want to leverage that. I encourage you guys, if you guys get excited as a team and people start watching this video, and hopefully you guys will tell them it's worth their time. Maybe you set something up like that and get everybody cranking for a month. Sound good? Good.
Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. Thank you so much, Eric. I am so honored that you got on this call to show us, because this is you. This is your baby, and this has been the most amazing training. And I'm so blessed that I reached out to you and you reached out back to me to set this up. So thank you so much. I'm really excited.
She sent us a message that said, Teamzy, I'm so in love, I think I need to marry you or something. And so I responded and said, let's just start with a team call. So anyways, thank you for having me. It's been my honor too to be here with you guys. Hopefully this was helpful to you. Hopefully you guys picked up a few things that you can apply in your business instantly, even if you don't use Teamzy, though I hope you will. Love to have you as part of our Teamzy family. But thank you guys for having me. I will Melodie, I'll send you this recording probably in the morning, the link to it, so you can share it with the team. But thank you guys for being here. God bless you. Have a great night.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Thanks so much.